Okay, so I did my presentation on the film Black Over White, which is about a group of Ethiopian Jews that formed a band called the Aydin Rachel, and how they were treated traveling throughout the world in Ethiopia, and how they went back to Ethiopia and they were how they were like where their family was born, and they were surprised and treated poorly, as I could say. I have a couple questions to ask. Have you ever experienced racism, and how would you react in this situation? Have you, or we can answer that one first, so.
Okay. All right, can you repeat the question, please?
Have you ever experienced racism, and how would you react to this situation, in this situation?
Yes, I have experienced racism before when I was about 10 years old, and I was on the way to actually walk into my temple in North Suburban Synagogue Bethel in Highland Park, Illinois, where yours truly, Gaveret Pashtan, you are so good friends with Professor Zari, grew up with. So there was an African American group of people, and they walked to my temple, and they just said like a lot of like mean, hateful hatred things about my religion, and as I'm so proud to be Jewish,
What did you say to them when they? Did you encounter them?
I did. I was not afraid to step out of my comfort zone and stand up for what I believe in. One of them approached me and said, "Hey, are you Jewish? Are you going to temple, little Jewish boy? Huh? You think that's right? You think you're cool for doing that? Huh?" And I said, "You know what? I'm proud to be Jewish. I stand faithfully and true to my religion. I'm actually reading Torah this Saturday morning." And he's like, "Oh, okay," and he walked away, and their group of people walked away. And that shows how proud I am to be Jewish, because, you know what, you can always stand up and have the right to say things that no one else has the right to say. So you know what, I'm proud to be Jewish. What was your second question?
Okay. How would you feel when your parents / guardians share experiences from their childhood? How do these experiences differ from yours? So, in their childhood, maybe racism was more common. I mean, I know my dad has experienced different racism than I have, being Jewish and stuff. And imagine their childhood and all that. How do you feel when they talk about it? I mean, what do you like? Do you talk to your parents about that stuff or no?
David, to answer your question, I feel very fortunate and proud to talk about something like that, because in my dad's days, in my grandfather's days, growing up as a conservative Jew, I thought it important to take on the role to hear them out, hear their stories about racism and being Jewish and stuff like that. I actually talked about it with my dad in my Zaidi, as they would say in Jewish for grandfather, a lot, because it's important as they're passing on their stories from generation to generation. I'm inheriting that, so that one day when I become a parent, I'm going to share those experiences that my grandfather, my great-granddaddy, and before them, in the Lashinsky family that merged in my family's history, that I'm going to share and pass down to the new generation of the Layson family.
But the question is, Jeff, do those experiences make you feel different about your childhood? Like, do you feel comfortable when your parents tell you what
Yes.
the experience is?
Yes, because I feel like I can relate to their experiences and step in their shoes and encounter what happened to them and so forth. But
Right.
obviously that was very brave what I did when I was 10 to what I did at the age of 10 to stand up to a group of people like that,
I
to a
agree.
minority, and say that I was proud to be Jewish.
Okay, my third question.
Uh-huh.
This one's a good one. So you know when you visit a place, have you ever been to a place where you are surprised on how the community members live based on prior or social class? Like, for example, when I went to Israel, I was really shocked. I thought it was just going to be like a holy land, whatever, just cool, very cool. But when I went to Israel, people say it's like dangerous, but honestly, I felt safer in Israel than I felt in the United States with people holding guns all over the place, machine guns, whatever. I thought it was very interesting. And when I stepped on Israel's land, I was not thinking, wow, this is going to be, everyone's going to be holding guns. I was thinking this is going to be like California or whatever, but it wasn't. It was like a crazy place, and people say, like, I'm scared to go to Israel and stuff. Well, they shouldn't be, honestly. I thought Israel, when I was there, I've been there a couple times, Israel is one of the safest places that I've ever traveled to, and I was shocked when I saw it. Have you ever experienced a place, like when you travel, like you think have you ever been to a place where you were surprised on how the community members live based on prior or social class?
Yes, I have, going like in the poorer neighborhoods of Chicago, or, like when traveling, like going to places like Mexico and seeing how, like, differently, how, like, they do, the way they do things socially, structurally, culturally, different, ethnically different, like the things those people do, like, compared to, like, where I'm from in Highland Park, or the suburbs of Chicago, where it's a different structure, like economically, socially,
Okay.
religion-wise, stuff like that. But you know what? Wherever I go, whatever I do, I know that I'm proud to be Jewish, and
Okay,
I
next
know
question.
I will respect whatever culture I ever perceive myself with, because that's
Next
the right
question.
thing.